What's up, everyone? Azario here, and welcome to another Yu-Gi-Oh! One-on-one discussion video. And in this video, I'm going to be doing something a bit different. Normally, in the video topic that I'm about to speak on, normally I would be speaking on decks that were expected to be seen, but I feel that, we've been in Yu-Gi-Oh! Long enough to where we actually know what's going to be the most, seen builds. I mean, it's right there in your face to the point where I really don't need to speak on decks expected to be seen. Like, it's already pretty much obvious, what builds are going to be seen. So with that being said, instead of me going that typical predictable route, I instead want to talk about builds that I would like to see more of in the upcoming format. Because I think that'll be something more interesting to speak on than just, saying about, or me just speaking about the obvious. Like, it's obvious what builds are going to be, seen the most at the top. So that's pretty much, you know, those things are pretty much. It's too easy to do a prediction videos, on those subjects that are obvious. So instead of that, I'm going to give you my thoughts on builds that I would like to see more of, because I think it's a lot of builds out there that typically get overlooked, and it would be nice to see more of those builds in action. So with that being said, just to start off, I would like to see the Naturias make a comeback. The Naturias, they did get some new support. I don't know if they're going to get any more in this upcoming booster pack, but they are getting some new support. And it'll be, it was a time when the Naturias were being played a lot, and then it's just like they just got set aside. And it wasn't that I was bored of seeing the Naturias; it was just that they didn't do anything new, or rather, nobody did anything new with them. You know, like the net deckers, boy, they ruined a lot of shit. But yeah, I would like to see the Naturias make a comeback. I mean, they don't really, have anything that's bad about them. I mean, the way that they're designed to run is cool, and I don't know, like it's just one of those archetypes I feel like that deserves more play than it's actually getting these days. So hopefully with this new support, you know, like the duelists can make that happen. Next up, I would like to see, and this is more of like a challenge. I would like to see more of like the battle guards get some shine. And I know this is like far fetched and it's more than likely not going to happen, but still, I think the battle guards, they received very little new support. Not really, but I challenge somebody out there to do something with the battle guards. Now, I've already made like a build with the battle guards already, but I want to see if somebody can actually make something else interesting with them, you know, with the new support that they received. And I don't know, like that's just like something that would be interesting to see, like the battle guards run wild. So I would like to see more of the battle guards. Next up, I would actually like to see more support come for the bouncer archetype. Like the bouncers, they pretty much been getting ignored. Like it was like one or two monsters that got released for it. No, I believe it was like three monsters that got released for it, and that was it. Like nothing else happened with them. It was like photon bouncer. It was like I think it was panther bouncer, rhino bouncer, and like some type of weird wolf rat bouncer or something like that. But yeah, like they didn't even get started good, and like they just got kicked to the curb. So hopefully, if they receive some new support in this upcoming booster pack, new challenger, I would like to see more of them, you know, active in Yu-Gi-Oh. Next up, I would like to see the Kawaki Miru. Actually, now that's actually a good suggestion. That could actually possibly happen because they received a good fucking card in uh, Diamond Core, and I feel like that's a card that really got overlooked. And it's idiotic that a card like a card as good as that. I mean, it's search support and it's anti-destruction support. So like, you really can't go wrong with that card. Like, that is just, you know, like, that card is really, really fucking good. And I'm surprised it hasn't helped the Kawaki Miru get more play in Yu-Gi-Oh these days. Because I haven't seen anybody using the Kawaki Mirus. I think I'm gonna try to use them. Yeah, like, I think I'm gonna give them a try. Because I definitely believe that that's something that that needs to happen. Uh, I don't know, like, the Kawaki Mirus are just missing that one something to make them really, really good. And I think the Diamond Core is it. I think it's just people, they just gotta find a way to make a build that actually works, that's consistent with Diamond Core, so that, you know, you'll be able to get it and like use it more so when you want to than when you know, just have to rely on a dead draw. So I mean, there's like one card in the archetype that can search it out, I believe, but that's it. But still, I think it's like, it's a good card, and the archetype in general is very interesting, and I think I would like to see more of that in action. So more of the Kawaki Miru, most definitely. Um, Next up, I would actually like to see the Mech Lords make a return. I know it's kind of far fetched because the Mech Lords are supposed to be like anti-synchro monsters, but still, I think the Mech Lords wouldn't be a bad idea. I mean, these days, like, they're coming out with synchro archetypes, or archetypes that are supposed to be geared towards synchro summoning. So the Mech Lords would actually be something interesting to see get play these days. The Mech Lords are a pretty awesome archetype, even when they're not going up against synchros. Like, they have enough to hold their own on the field and in a duel. So that wouldn't actually, that wouldn't be a bad suggestion. I would actually like to see more Mech Lords in action. I'm trying to think of what else. Man, I don't know. Like, I really should have wrote these things down before I actually started this video, because I'm trying to think about it as I go. So, who next? I would like to see more of the battling boxers, because they got some good support in Primal Origin, if I'm not mistaken. No, not Primal Origin, but uh, the Duelist Alliance. Like, they got some new support in that, and, well, that and Primal Origin, I believe. And surprisingly, people just haven't been touching them. I'm just like, wow, like, y'all just, like, they got new support that is actually pretty good, and, you know, like, y'all just left them alone. It's like, how the hell does an archetype get new support and it's still not get played? I don't understand that at all. But, like, I haven't been seeing people play that in any shape or form. But, you know, it would be nice to see the battling boxes in action in its upcoming format. That would be something cool. Um, who else? I would actually like to see the Umbral Horrors. The Umbral Horrors, even though that isn't coming out right. The horrors, not hoes. But yeah, I would like to see the Umbralists get more attention in this upcoming format. That's another one of those archetypes that never really got the push that it needed. Like, they got one new support card, and I think either it was the Duelist Alliance or Primal Origin, or the booster pack that came before Primal Origin. But they got like one new monster, and that was it. And the monster was crap. So, like, they didn't even get a fair shake. You know, so that's fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Like they didn't even get a fair shake in the game. It's crazy though. Next up, I would like to see more of the Egyptian gods. Now, this is like kind of throwing it out there, but the Egyptian gods got a good fucking card in Ra's Disciple. And I mean a good damn card in Ra's Disciple. That's can help them out big time. And I don't see why more people haven't been using the Egyptian gods. Like, why hasn't they? Why hasn't that done them? Gotten the attention that it deserved. I mean, this is a card where all you have to do is just summon it, and you can summon the rest of the copies onto the field. To get the Egyptian gods on the field. So that's pretty fucking crazy that they haven't, you know, gotten more play. I mean, and even with, field spell cards like Bound of the Mound Creator or Mound of the Bound Creator, like, it's ridiculous. Like, they have like the search support and the necessary, field spell support to maintain field advantage and, to keep them on the field and to pretty much be virtually indestructible. I'm surprised more people haven't done anything with them. Like, it's just weird. But yeah, I would like to see more of the Egyptian gods in action. Next up, I would like to see more of the Geminis. Like, the Gemini monsters are an archetype that's just like, meh, you know. I know they're kind of like one-trick ponies at this point, and what I mean by that is like they only have like one good synchro monster, and they have one fusion monster, and it's just like, well, it's like one trick, either you fusion or synchro, you know, and that's all they have at their disposal. Like, it's more to them than that, and I feel like more can be done with them if given the opportunity, or if people, actually was patient with the archetype, or not with the archetype, but like with that series of monsters. And I don't know, like, that would be like, it would just be cool to see more of them in action, and for people to discover new ways to use them. So that would be something. What else? What else is there? Uh, I would actually like to see more of YuGiOh. Now that's gonna be a stretch because YuGiOh isn't the easiest monster to use, But I would like to see more YuGiOh in action. Um, it's like a couple builds you can make with YuGiOh to make her very efficient, but it would still be cool to see YuGiOh in action. I feel like that was like one of the better cards, so like during the second, era of YuGiOh, and it would be cool to see that make a comeback. What else? Next up, I would like to see the Mecha Phantom beast, because that's an archetype that never really got a good fair shake. It was like people, like there was like a quick flash in the pan, and people just only used the Exceed monster. it, like literally, like they were a quick flash in the pan, and nobody else used them. Maybe because people can't count, you know, or maybe it was just the fact that they summoned tokens, and people didn't know how to use them properly, and like they got confused when this token hit the field after you summon this monster, or and then you gotta calculate up how many tokens are on the field, and that's the level of the monster, and I don't know, like maybe it just confused them too much, and they didn't want to bother with it anymore, so they just left it alone. So that's actually funny to me that that could actually be the reason why you don't see Mecha Phantom Beast anymore besides Dragosack, which is funny when you think about it. Um, what else? Who else? I don't know. Oh man, like there's a lot of builds that come to mind. I'm trying to think. I would like to see the Banished Sharks in action. That would be something cool. I mean, the Banished Sharks, they're pretty efficient. Like even without Diva, like played a banished, well, I've made a banished shark build without relying on Diva, and it's actually possible. They actually do pretty good. And yeah, man, it was like it can actually, you know what I'm saying? Like that's something like that's a series of monsters that I feel can actually do something great. Like without mixing them in with like the mermaids and other things, like just the banished sharks themselves. Like they can actually stand to see more play in the game. What else it is out there? Like I want to say the photons, because I haven't seen them in forever. The photons, that would actually be cool to see them in action again, because I haven't seen, like, people just left them off. Like they were just pretty much like the same situation with like the Mecha Phantom beast. Like it was like a quick flash in the pan. Like one moment they the cool thing, and next thing you know, like they just vanished. So yeah, man. Another thing is, I would like to see more of legendary Archetypes being used in this game. It was like two fusion monsters that can be used with that, and I can't remember the name of them by heart, but it was a fusion monster where um, uh, the Archetypes could fuse with Dark Magician or Dark Magician Girl and make fusion monsters. Some pretty good fusion monsters, and I would actually like to see those, in action more. So that's something that's actually not a bad suggestion, truth be told, because it's possible. Like even I have like two builds using those monsters, so I think I might main those this upcoming format. Um, what else? It was like a couple more in my head that I'm trying to think of. Uh, I would like to see more of the Gagagas being used. That would actually be a pretty good suggestion. They have more than enough to maintain, a good field. You have more than enough to synchro summon and exceed, well, not synchro summon, but exceed summon with, um, you know, like they have more than enough to get their hands on. Like they have a lot, um, in this upcoming format. Now, understand that I'm not talking about the new stuff, like the new archetypes of cards that's coming in. I'm talking about cards that already exist that I feel should get more play, and things that I would like to see more of in Yu-Gi-Oh. And there was one more archetype, or one more series of monsters. Oh, that's right, the psychics. I would like to see the psychics get more play in this upcoming format, because the psychics are just good. Like they're just plain good. Like there's no way of getting around them. Like they're just good, and it's like I don't know. Like maybe they just got stale and like so repetitive and boring that they just got left alone. But I think it's time for the psychics to make a return in this upcoming format. And if I gotta be the one to do that, so be it. But yeah, like they need to make a comeback. So I mean, like really, there's a couple of other ones that come to mind. Like for example, there's the Malice Vorus, like spoon, fork, and knife. But they, I don't know, like they just really don't have, like pretty much all they have is those three monsters, and you gotta mix them in with other things in order to do something with them. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like an archetype that can't stand on its own. What else? Um, I'm trying to think, man. I mean, because there's really so much. Um, Shit. I would actually like to see the ninjas do something. Truth be told, like the ninjas, they just been ignored, and people just forgot how good, what I'm saying, Super Ninjutsu Art of Transformation was. I can't remember if something happened to that card or not. Like I don't know if it got hit on a ban list or anything like that, which I don't think it did. But or rather, like I don't know if it did, but if it didn't, how come people stopped playing that? I don't know, like maybe other cards came out that prevented it from working, or that people just turned away from it. But yeah, that would actually be not bad. Um, Trying to see something else. It was something else that was on my mind too. What else was it? Oh man. Well, obviously, I know the Elemental Heroes, like, they gonna get played the fuck out this upcoming format because they got a new structure deck coming out with some good ass monsters in it, for the masked heroes. So that's not a question on whether or not it's gonna be used. So I'm tired of them already because I already know what's gonna happen when they hit the scene. You know, so nobody gives a fuck about the Elemental Heroes, but let's be honest, like the motherfuckers gonna shoot straight to the top, so might as well not even bother. Or the monsters are gonna get used in other builds because it's capable now, so woohoo. What else? What else I can see myself, or like what else do I want to see? There was like one more. Um, Not the Boojins. The Boojins are already fine. I'm not even paying attention to them. Uh, what else? Man, I don't know. I'm pretty much ran down the list of everything that I wanted to see more of, or things that I would like to see more of in Yu-Gi-Oh. Really, I just want to see like a pretty much like more of a variety of things being used, even though it's not going to happen. Let's be honest. You know, People are going to play what they want to play, but what I'm saying, that's one of those things that would be nice to see more of a variety of things happening. And you know what? Speaking of fucking cards to use, hell, I would like to see more of the scraps being used. I would like to see more of the scraps. Like the scraps are getting like a little bit of play, but I would like to see more of them. And I challenge somebody not to use Scrap Dragon. Like straight up, I really do challenge somebody not to use like the typical Scrap Dragon, you know, um, scenario when they use the scraps. Like I challenge people because I see it so much. It's like I know the scraps can do more. Granted that people, you know, try, but people gonna do what they want. But it still would be nice to see somebody actually attempt to do something like that. And I want to see also more of the G-Nex. I would like to see the G-Nex, make a comeback. Because I feel like they have something to offer. I actually have a G-Nex build that I haven't looked at in quite some time. And I bet I can do something with them, if I try to. But yeah, like they can, like I wouldn't mind seeing them make a comeback into the game. This upcoming format. So that's something else, man. So that's pretty much it as far as the cards that I want to see, or like the archetypes I would like to see more of in the upcoming format, in the builds I would like to see in the upcoming format. So I guess if you guys have some builds, of course you can always leave it in the comments. Like I really don't feel the need to tell you that because if you have any desire to do so, you're gonna do it. But it'll be nice to hear your thoughts. Like I'm not you know, like against it, but yeah, man, it's gonna be something crazy. So yeah, link to this card is gonna be in the description. Well, what the hell am I saying? This ain't a card review. But yeah, man, thanks for listening and peace, and I'll talk to you guys later.